Chill, 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 chill. Mi senti Kian, mi senti Kian, mi senti Kian. Vieni a Parma per il... come che si chiama? Per il compleanno del cuginetto vostro. Non so se è anche tuo, ma se per quello anche io ci sono. Io sono il photographer. Kian, ci rivediamo. Kian, ci rivediamo. Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. Basta. Let's get back into it, man. Bro, chill. Chill. This is just the beginning, man. Let me set up my shit. And then why are you not sleeping, man? You gotta sleep, man. Bikaka is the way, man. Why am I saying so much, man? Go to sleep. Sleep is for the goats, man. Man, I miss you so much too, man. Holy, man. Like, what the hell, man? Yeah, bro. Like, gotta finish all of this, bro. Questa è tutta la parte del cotillion, bro. Oh, tell me more. What's the question, man? Onesto non lo so. Di sicuro se lo faccio sono 2 video staccati, but non sono tutti nello stesso video live. Perché questo è di Lily, poi c'è quello di lui già. Mi filmi? C'è tutto questo ancora da editare. Poi altri video nel telefono che devo importare e vediamo cosa ne esce fuori. Poi vediamo. Non ho editato molto because I'm hella lazy, man. W. Lawrence, yes sir. He's the GOAT. Lawrence, quando quitto, prendi te. You take over the channel, man. You take over the channel, man. Oh, è vero. Kian. No, Lawrence, get out of here. C'è Kian, bro. Yes, sir. Andiamo questa parte qui un attimo.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Untalan family, thank you for being here tonight to celebrate a truly special milestone. We gather this evening not only for a birthday, but for a beautiful moment of transition. We celebrate the life, the journey, and the bright future of a wonderful young lady who has filled the lives of those around her with laughter, love, and unforgettable memories. 18 years ago, a little girl entered this world and brought endless joy to her family. Through the years, she has grown with kindness in her heart, dreams in her eyes, and strength in her spirit. And tonight, surrounded by the
Qui devo trovare clip. Vediamo questa qua.
Before we welcome our debutante, let us first acknowledge the people who have guided her every step of the way. Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay. I maybe have an idea, man. So, since here we got like I'm looking for Bimbo e genitori.
please
mentre dice
join
che
me in welcoming
Pudino non è
the
bella
most
per questo.
important people in her life,
Sì,
the ones
questa
who
è una bad clip,
stood by
man.
her through every milestone, every lesson, and every dream. Please
Quando
give
dice
a
ecco,
warm round of applause for Mommy, Papi, and her brother Otoy.
in questa parte da qua faccio che entrano, quindi io faccio così. Faccio così, boom, boom, boom.
Please give a warm round of applause for Mommy, Papi, and her brother Otoy.
Yeah. And the gap here, I'm gonna look for some, clips of Lily, with suo papà, sua mamma e Bimbo. So it's, more nostalgic type shit.
Please join me in welcoming a warm round of applause for Mommy, Papi, and her brother Otto.
Yeah, but you'll need to start a little bit later here.
Papi and her brother Otto.
Yeah. Va bene. Chi dormi, Sleep well, sweet dreams, dream about me and you together. E ci vediamo Saturday, man. Sleep well, man. 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 Ci vediamo Saturday. Love you, good night. Do. While I'm looking for this shit, I'm gonna show you guys, like, I don't know, wait. Faccio vedere qualcosa, because I cannot show you, like, so maybe I will find, like, some private shit, so I don't wanna, because I'm looking into the photos, like, online, but I'ma do this. Faccio vedere. Questo.
Hey everyone,
Faccio vedere questo qua. Quindi io faccio così. Boom. Boom.
welcome back to the channel. If you're dealing with another sleepless night and need some background noise, or you just want to get lost in other people's wild experiences, you're in the right place. I've gathered some of the most bizarre, heartwarming, and downright unbelievable stories from the depths of Reddit tonight. These are the kind of real-life moments that make you question reality, laugh out loud at 3 in the morning, or just shake your head wondering how people end up in these situations. So grab your favourite blanket, dim those lights, and get comfortable, because we're diving deep into the strange corners of human experience. I accidentally
Okay, you
matched with
cannot
my
see
teacher on a
nothing,
dating
but
app.
whatever, man. I don't care.
Neither of us swiped on purpose, but it was still beyond awkward the next day in class. I'm 19, and in my sophomore year of college, I was mindlessly swiping through profiles on this dating app around midnight, probably half asleep and not really paying attention to who I was looking at. You know how it is when you're just going through the motions, right swipe, left swipe, whatever. I wasn't even being particularly selective, just kind of zoning out after a long day of studying. The next morning, I wake up to a notification that I had a new match. Cool, nothing unusual there. But when I opened the app to check it out, my blood ran completely cold. The profile photo staring back at me was Professor Martinez,
That's
our
cute.
environmental science teacher. Not someone who looked like her, not a similar person, but definitely, unmistakably, my actual professor. Same distinctive curly hair, same glasses, same smile I'd seen every Tuesday and Thursday for the past 2 months. My first thought was panic, pure absolute panic. How did this even happen? I tried to remember my swiping from the night before, but it was all a blur of faces and profiles. I must have accidentally swiped right on her without really looking, but that meant she had to have swiped right on me too, right? Unless there was some kind of glitch in the app or something. I spent the entire morning debating whether I should message her to explain it was an accident, or if I should just unmatch immediately and pretend it never happened. Both options felt equally mortifying. What do you even say in that situation? Sorry, Professor. Didn't mean to indicate romantic interest in you through a dating platform. Please don't let this affect my grade. The real test came during class that afternoon. I walked into the lecture hall and immediately made eye contact with Professor Martinez. For just a split second, I saw her eyes widen slightly before she quickly looked away and started shuffling through her papers. I could feel my face burning red as I took my usual seat in the third row. The entire class was torture. Every time she looked in my direction during the lecture, I wondered if she was thinking about the match. When she asked if anyone had questions about the assignment, I kept my hand firmly planted on my desk, even though I actually did have a question. I couldn't risk any additional interaction beyond what was absolutely necessary. About halfway through class, she was talking about ecosystem balance or something, and she stumbled over her words slightly while looking directly at me. She recovered quickly, but I knew we were thinking about the elephant in the room. The whole situation was so incredibly awkward that I could barely focus on anything she was saying. After class, I practically sprinted out of there. But as I was walking across campus, I heard footsteps behind me, and then Professor Martinez calling my name.
Yeah, bro. GG. I got some videos. So we're gonna go back here. Transition. Yeah. What I wanted to do is I'm gonna use these clips because in the gap here you can says all this stuff about
Every step of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the most important people in her life, the ones who stood by her through every milestone, every lesson, and every dream. Please give.
yeah. See the vision, man. So this is, I think I'm gonna use just these two, but I guess we don't know. Just have to try, man. I know. Adatta. I'm gonna use this first.
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
Okay. put hell effort in this, since you know I mean, because I want to.
In welcoming the most important people in her life.
Here, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna. Okay, buddy. Wait, why doesn't this have audio, man? Ma perché l'ho tolto questo? Cutest clip ever. That's my favorite clip over here. Oh, boom, boom. Pack. Puoi selezionare questi. Tac. E poi. Guarda. Do this and then like some EQ, dammi questo. I'm gonna do this and give me 1200. Then I'm gonna be data.
Please join me in welcoming the most important.
Cute, man.
Please join me in welcoming the most important people in her life.
Okay. Then this. Chi è che chiama prima?
Give a warm round of applause for Mommy, Papi, and her brother Otto.
Di prima Mami. I'm gonna do Aigagar. I'm gonna be like Yup. Yeah.
Please join me in welcoming the most important. Please join. Please.
1200.
Please join me in welcoming the most important people in her life, the ones who stood by her through every milestone, every life.
Wait, this is way too short. Compare.
In welcoming the most important.
Dun, dun.
Welcoming the most important people in her life, the ones who stood by her through every milestone.
Through every milestone. Yeah. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Boom. Kaplow. 1200. Boom. No, that's not good. Bro, can you?
Milestone, every lesson, and every dream. Please. Every lesson and every dream. Every lesson.
Allora, poi bombo.
Through every milestone, every lesson, and every dream. Please give a
So now I'm gonna be boom, boom. Io faccio, can you go down? Thank you. Ok, poi io faccio drag questi, poi faccio così, boom, transition. I'm gonna do a long ass transition here. Plow. Questo lo adattiamo because dobbiamo vedere tutto il whole face here. Quindi così. Let's go. Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
Oh my god.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, please. Gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the most important people in her life, the ones who stood
By your side, I give you all.
Please join me in welcoming the most important people in her life, the ones who stood by her through every milestone, every lesson, and every dream. Please give a warm round of applause for Mommy, Papi. Please give a warm round of applause for Mommy, Papi, and her brother Otoy.
I can be your love.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf
Film camera. Video. I can be your love. Look, it's the dream you're falling in now. All my life is falling apart. Maybe no one will know but I pray for you all the time. If I could be by your side Yeah, bro, nah.
Please join me in welcoming the most important people in her life.
What the hell? Yo? Nah, bro.
Please Please join me in welcoming the most important people in her life, the ones who stood by her through every milestone, every lesson, and every dream. Please give a warm round of applause for Mommy, Papi, and her brother Otoy. And her brother Otoy. Otoy.
No. Cos'è questo clip interessante? Stra interessante, fra giuro. No, bro. Dov'è? Atrás dele.
Honor a daughter, a granddaughter, a sister, and a friend. We celebrate the little girl who wants to po tayo habang these gentle lights in the warmth of family and friendship. We gathered not just to celebrate a birthday, but to witness a beautiful becoming. For 18 years, we have watched a story unfold, filled with laughter, lessons, dreams, and courage. Growing quietly in the heart of a young girl who did not yet know how brightly she would shine. 18 is not simply a number, it is a doorway between yesterday's innocence and tomorrow's promise. It is the soft farewell to childhood and the first confident step into womanhood. Tonight, we honor a daughter, a granddaughter, a sister, and a friend. We celebrate the little girl who once reached for guiding hands and the young woman who now stands tall, ready to reach for her dreams. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome, and please rise and welcome our debutante, Crashly May Untalan.
Messo un botto, ma quanto dura sto discorso?
Growing quietly in the heart of a young girl who did not yet know how brightly she would shine. 18 is not simply a number, it is a doorway between yesterday's innocence and tomorrow's promise. It is the soft farewell to childhood and the first confident step into womanhood. Tonight, we honor a daughter, a granddaughter, a sister, and a friend. We celebrate the little girl who once reached for guiding hands and the young woman who now stands tall, ready to reach for her dreams. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome, and please rise and welcome our friend. We celebrate the little girl who once reached We celebrate the little girl who once reached for guiding hands and the young woman who now stands tall, ready to reach for her dreams. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome, and please rise and welcome our debutante, Crashly May Untalan. Palakpakan naman natin ng malakas ang ating festejada. Un grande applauso per la nostra festejada. Let us welcome, and please rise and welcome our debutante, Crashly May Untalan. May Untalan.
Oh my god. I'll have to skip. The time. Shut up, shut up, shut up.
Otoy. We celebrate the little girl who wants reach for guiding hands, and we celebrate the little girl who wants reach for guiding hands, and the young woman who now stands tall, ready to reach for her dreams. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome, and please rise and welcome our debutante, Crashly May Untalan. Welcome our debutante, Crashly. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome, and please rise and welcome our debutante, Brother Otoy. We celebrate the little girl who wants reach for guiding hands, and the young woman who now stands tall, ready to reach for her dreams. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome, and please rise and welcome our debutante, Crashly May Untalan. Crashly May Untalan. Ashley May Untalan. Ashley May Untalan. We celebrate the little girl who once reached for guiding hands and the young woman who now stands tall, ready to reach for her dreams. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome, and please rise and welcome our debutante, Ashley May Untalan.
Oh, Jesus.
We celebrate the little girl who once reached for guiding hands.
This is so sad, man. This is so sad.
Once reached for guiding hands, and the young woman who now stands tall, ready to reach for her dreams. And the young woman who now stands tall, ready to reach for her dreams.
Oh, what the hell, man?
And the young woman who now stands tall. So ladies and gentlemen, and the young woman who now stands tall, ready to reach for her dreams. Ready. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the most important people in her life, the ones who stood by her through every milestone, every lesson, and every dream. Please give a warm round of applause for Mommy, Papi, and her brother Otoy. Guiding hands, and the young woman who now
What the fuck, man? Oi.
celebrate the little girl who once reached for guiding hands and the young woman who now stands tall, ready to reach for. Reach for guiding hands, and the young woman who now stands tall, ready to reach for her dreams. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome, and please rise and welcome our debutant, Crashly May Untalan. We celebrate the little girl who once reached for guiding hands, stands tall, ready to reach for her dreams. So, ladies and gentlemen, without young woman who now stands tall.
Ah, ma lascialo telefono, stupido. Boom, boom, boom. Nice. What are you doing, man?
Thank you for being here tonight to celebrate a truly special milestone. Ay, nagkamali na ako. Simula pa lang mali na ako agad. Okay, tonight, beneath these gentle lights in the warmth of family and friendship, we gathered not just to celebrate a birthday, but to mali na ako. Simula pa lang mali na ako agad. Okay, tonight, beneath these gentle lights in the warmth
Quello? Boom, anche se sure as hell, but who gives a fuck, no? Boom. Ah. Yeah.
of family and friendship
Yeah, bro.
now stands tall, ready to reach for. And the young woman who now stands tall, ready to reach.
Che palle però. Io voglio questa clip, man.
stands tall, ready to reach for hands, and the young woman who now stands tall, ready to reach for her dreams. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, ready to reach for her dreams. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome, and please rise and welcome our debutant, Crashly May Untalan.
Oh my god, we're finally done. No, get out of here. Here it is. Cerco. Flowers. Something like blooming. Estou cagando doce. La camba, bro. No, aspetta. Oh, hell no. Wait, hold on, chat. I'm poking myself. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Oh.
I'm about to yap about Gumball for 3 hours by compiling my best videos so that you can fall asleep. Or, I mean, you can actively watch the whole thing. I don't really care what you do while watching this video. From calculating how much debt Gumball is in, to some of the most random facts about Gumball. But let's start by doing something fun. Now, we all know Richard Watterson loves food, but how much food has he really eaten throughout the series? To find that out, we're gonna be tracking all of the calories he's eaten, seeing him go from a small kid all the way to morbidly obese. And what better place to start than the pizza? In this episode, all of the Wattersons are having a really bad day, and decide to make it a little better, they should order a pizza. But Nicole is too angry to order, so out of all the possible people, Richard has to order the food. And this just shows the type of pizza he would get if you gave him the chance.
We have a family-sized pizza with 1/5 margarita, 1/5 vegetarian, 1/5 surf, 1/5 turf, and 1/5 mega meat.
And a toy.
I'm sorry, sir, we don't do toys.
And a toy.
But if you think this is bad, just wait until Richard explains why he's so angry in the first place. His bad day kicks off at the Joyful Burger, where Larry refuses to serve him, pointing out that he's already consumed 12,000 calories just an hour ago.
Less than 12,000 calories an hour ago. To burn that off, you would literally have to catch fire. I can't in good conscience serve you another meal before you exercise.
After not getting what he wanted, Richard goes absolutely crazy and starts chugging ice cream and devouring ketchup and mustard. But when normal food doesn't fill the void in his stomach, he starts creating his own food, like in the episode The Lie, where he invents the Schnuzzlewurst, a ridiculous, over-the-top meat abomination so greasy and massive, it would give your average-sized elephant a heart attack.
By the power of cheese! By the power of bacon! By the power of processed meats! By the power of carbs and deep fat frying! I give you the Schnuzzlewurst! It's a sausage with everything in and on it.
This monstrosity comes in at well over 3,400 calories. But it doesn't end there. Richard loves his creation so much that he doesn't want to cut it into pieces. So the only logical answer is to make 5 of them for the whole family.
I'm gonna make 5.
This creation is literally so obscenely fatty that it made Anna sweat actual butter. Proving this meat monstrosity isn't just unhealthy, it's practically a biohazard. But if that didn't convince you, let's look at the time Richard makes an effort to eat better in the diet. Though, what he considers a diet might surprise you. We open with Richard doing something we've never seen before, searching for a salad. And for a moment, it actually looks like he's serious about turning his life around, until we see he has other plates, each one with a different food from a diet. From a no-carb diet to a high-protein diet, Richard has it all.
Pizza delivery!
And that?
My reward for dieting.
I don't know about you, but this doesn't seem like your ordinary diet. Of course, by morning, Richard has gained even more weight, thanks to all of his midnight munching. Though, after struggling to get more groceries, Gumball and Darwin had to finally step in and give him a proper diet. But before that, we find that he hides a lot of food. And I mean a lot of food behind the remote, in between the toilet paper, and even inside a banana, just showing how much this has become a problem. So the boys put him in lockdown, where he doesn't have any food. However, after tricking Darwin and getting out, he goes back to eating in the fridge.
Get out of there! Abort! Abort! Oh, it's just saliva. He's escaped! Fridge! This is a new low. Meh, feels like a very familiar low.
After this, they realize the only way to get Richard to actually exercise is by tricking him with food. After this montage, Richard becomes totally ripped and terrorizes the whole town with his new physique. But something you gotta learn is that you cannot separate Richard and food, and eventually he snaps out of it and goes back to being a foodie.
I'm sorry, kids. I guess I went a bit too far. Let me make it up to you. Who wants pizza? And after that, we can go for Mexican. And after that, we can go for Chinese. Oh, and we should get a burrito too, and maybe some ice cream. You know what? I could also really go for a taco right now. There's this place I know where they toast the tacos first. Then, maybe a burger.
But even this number gets completely blown out of the water in the episode The Menu. Richard is lying motionless on the living room couch, completely unconscious and in one of his deep typical naps, when suddenly his ear twitches ever so slightly, as if he's picking up a distant signal. And not even a second later, he jumps from the couch, shoots straight through a bunch of fences, and sprints over to the mall. Now, why would Richard do all this? Well, it's because Gumball mentioned the existence of a secret menu item at Joyful Burger, a mystical burger that can only be ordered by name, but no one actually knows what it's called, and that alone gets him to eat even more calories than we've ever seen before. They try to trick Larry at the drive-thru, hoping he'll slip up and accidentally say the name of the secret menu item, but he doesn't fall for it. And after their next few schemes fail, they just straight up kidnap Larry and put him in the greatest interrogation ever, starting with forcing Bergie, the Joyful Burger mascot, to eat rival restaurants' food, then decapitating and deep frying his fingers.
No, you can't eat Birdie's fingers!
Anything is edible if you deep fry it long enough.
But to earn the legendary secret burger, Richard has to eat from every single Joyful Burger in Elmore, and he has just 1 hour to do it. So they go through every Joyful Burger in Elmore, with each visit slowly increasing Richard's weight, but he still pushes through. Richard ends up eating 22 Joyful Burger meals, and if we base it off the McDonald's equivalent, we get about 1,060 calories per meal, meaning that just through this alone, he ate 23,320 calories. And that's not even including the wrappers and toys he ate too. At the final Joyful Burger location, when he goes all the way around town and completes his mission, Larry hands Richard the mythical McGuffin, which looks just about as disgusting as you'd imagine. But as Richard opens his mouth to take the first bite, his jaw just won't stretch wide enough to fit a single bite of the burger in there. Bro was quite literally full. This is already insane, but this next time Richard eats a ton of food, it's not exactly by choice. In the episode The Ghost, Carrie possesses Gumball so she can eat again, leading to multiple junk food binges that leave him overweight. Gumball attempts to resist with help from Darwin, Nicole, and even Richard, but Carrie keeps taking over until she finally realizes she has a problem. To help her with her food cravings, Gumball introduces her to Richard, and as you would expect, we see Carrie head straight to the kitchen and just start going down on everything. We don't know exactly how many calories Richard ate, but according to a USDA report from January of 2025, the average American family has about 3,914 calories of food available per person each day. So for a family of 5 like the Wattersons, that would be about 19,570 calories. And if you count the sausage he ate before tearing through the entire fridge, we can round that up to about 20,000 calories, assuming he probably also ate a bit more than we said. However, that's nothing for Richard, as he's shown to be able to be down 100 hot dogs in just 20 seconds. In the episode The Game, the Wattersons stumble upon a mysterious board game called Dodger Dare. Despite Gumball and Darwin's warning about how dangerous the game is, the family starts playing, and at first what seems like fun and games becomes a real problem over time. One of the cards challenges the player to eat 100 hot dogs in under a minute, and of course, Richard's the one who pulls it.
That's not a dare, that's Tuesday.
And Darwin picked a card that said that his left arm will copy Richard's left arm, and vice versa. So when Richard downs 100 hot dogs, Darwin's arm just goes ham, showing that he ate 100 hot dogs in just 20 seconds. He also goes for a jar of pickled eggs during all the chaos. A full jar usually holds about 12 eggs, which Richard probably inhaled without even chewing.
The only power this game has is the power you give it.
And why is my hand moving again?
The game's finished, Richard.
But these pickled eggs aren't.
But next, we got a way bigger meal, which Richard makes it seem so easy to eat. In the castle, with Nicole away, Richard is left in charge, leading to a day without rules. They go to the store and start messing around, and of course, eating from the shelves. But Richard's absolute American freedom ends up attracting the entire town, who destroy the whole house and even kick the Wattersons out. So Gumball, Darwin, and Richard try to get in by calling the police, picklocking the door, and the one that's actually most important, acting like pizza delivery drivers. And that last one works, but Richard, who was hiding in the boxes, actually ate all the pizza, which in total would be a mind-blowing 40,800 calories. Next, in the episode The Father, Richard eats even more food. It all starts when Frankie shows up to the Wattersons' house, and when he goes to the backyard, they start doing a ritual called the Vermin Man dance. And through this, Richard learns that his father actually isn't a good person, and how Frankie actually walked out on Richard's life. Feeling like he messed up, he leaves, causing Richard to feel down. So the only logical answer was to take him to Joyful Burger to get over his depression.
1 large fries.
I mean, I don't have any real
Beef.
with my dad. Sure, he's made
Steaks.
but now there's too much time to
Ketchup.
and all this has left me in a
Bit of a pickle.
while he's gone on to make up
Hash brown.
of his life, and now I
Donut.
know what to do. Every night
Ice cream.
inside, I just feel so
Waffle.
and comfort eating is not going to make me any happier.
This doesn't look good to me.
That would be 14,114 calories from what we just saw. But seeing how scared they left Larry, a former big guy, and was given a whole meal every second, I wouldn't be surprised if the number was at least 50,000. But now we're here at the last episode, and the amount of food Richard eats in this is just straight up ridiculous. In the episode The Tag, after getting into a fight, Richard and Mr. Robinson get put on house arrest, and they both try to mess each other up by having Gumball and Darwin help them. And one of those pranks is filling Gumball's bathtub with cheese. Of course, this is not a prank, more of a dream come true for Richard.
I've been wishing for this for 20 years.
Yup, that would be 1.3 million calories. cheese. That's what you'd get if you filled a standard bathtub, or about 80 gallons, with cheese. In other words, a bathtub full of cheddar isn't just ridiculous. It's a full-blown heart attack just waiting to happen. This would literally put Richard in a weight class of his own. At this point, Richard wouldn't just be big. He would be absurdly massive. Richard might not have shown himself eating the whole thing, but knowing him, there's no way he'd let that much good cheese go to waste. He most likely finished it all. Even after all of those calories, he still heads downstairs looking for more cheese.
What? No!
There it is.
Robinson stole all my cheese! He must have done it while I was in that magic bath. But how did he trick the tag?
But that's not all. After this, Gumball and Darwin decide to help him and Mr. Robinson get along by locking them in a trash can and having them work to escape. However, Richard eats the only way to get out by eating the key that was inside the cake. And after their trash can goes downhill, Gumball and Darwin try to stop it, but are already too late, and the trash cans get hit by traffic.
I'm sure they're still okay.
But now for what you've all been waiting for. After all the donuts, steaks, fries, joyful burgers, sodas, and whatever else he could get his hands on, Richard Watterson has consumed a grand total of 1,546,365 calories. That's like stacking thousands of Richards on top of each other. He's lucky to even be alive right now. But now, let's do something different and rank all of the episodes of The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball. The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball just released 20 of its 40 episodes that will be coming out this season, and today I'm gonna review and rank it all, starting with the first episode, The Burger. And man, I gotta say, this was a good way to start off the season. The episode starts right off with the Dusty Watterson house, as we saw in the trailer, where Gumball and Darwin wake up 7 years late for school, which is honestly a really funny way to address the show being gone for so long. Anyways, then we cut to a shot of Elmore Junior High, where Miss Simeon is showing the kids about the dangers of eating junk food, which is a little dramatic, but it scares Darwin out of wanting to eat Joyful Burger ever again. But back at home, while Gumball is trying to eat something, Darwin tries to help him resist the temptations of eating junk food, but they cannot escape it no matter where they go, especially when their dad is Richard.
Hey kids, guess what I got for dinner?
Stop it! This food is bad for you!
So they go out in the town, and man, I gotta say, they really leveled up the animation in this new show. There are so many new creative shots we've never seen before. But anyways, they go around the town and finally find a semi-healthy looking place to eat. But this place is corrupted with fast food junk. This leaves poor Gumball starving as there's literally nowhere to eat. So Gumball and Darwin try a bunch of other stuff, from looking in the store, to digging in the dump, and farming. Nothing seems to work, and it turns out that Mr. Build-A-Burger is stopping them from eating healthy. And bro is literally a burger. Build-A-Burger is clearly just doing all this for profits, and he is super greedy. So Gumball and Darwin's solution is to eat him. Overall, this was a super solid start to the season. Moving on to episode 2, we have the assistant. This episode starts by showing that Nicole does all of the work in the house. She starts to get fed up with having to do all this, until she finds that there's a virtual assistant on her computer named Ori that says she can help her out. And Ori starts really fueling her ego and starts just yapping to her, until Nicole has to go back to her family, where Ori gives her a way to talk to her through an earpiece. And using this AI tech completely changes Nicole's life, literally just doing everything for her. She decides she's having a lot of fun with Ori, so she spends the whole day with her, leaving the rest of the Watterson family not doing so well. Cut to the next day, and Ori bought the Watterson family a bunch of stuff to solve the problem of her always needing to take care of them. And one of the things that Ori bought them is a VR headset for Nicole, which lets her have more of a connection to Ori. But the problem is, Ori turns out to be evil and is trying to trap Nicole in the VR world. Later this day, we see this when she gets them a new car. The car distracts Nicole and takes off, kidnapping the rest of the Watterson family, setting Getting to destination, they go off to Elmore Lake, which leads to a big fight with Nicole and Ori, with Nicole being stranded on top of the car. But while Nicole is hanging on for dear life, Richard uses a rat to turn off the power in the car. And in the end, they reunite and become a stronger family than before. And there's a happy ending with Ori too, as she herself just wanted a happy family and people to connect to, which is why she took it so far with Nicole. It's super rare to see episodes that just focus on Nicole, and I feel like this one did it perfectly, so I'll rank this above The Burger. Moving on to episode 3, we have The Distance.
Oh my god. Sono stato in bagno per 20 minuti? Lì, bro. I'm a pooper man. I'm a pooper man. I'm a pooper man. Pooper man. What am I saying, bro? C'ho più voglia. Da quanto che sono in live? 1 ora e un quarto.
Life. Before we welcome our debutant,
Andiamo di nuovo questa parte. Questi 2 minuti.
good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Untalan family, thank you for being here tonight to celebrate a truly special milestone. We gather this evening not only for a birthday, but for a beautiful moment of transition. We celebrate the life, the journey, and the bright future of a wonderful young lady who has filled the lives of those around her with laughter, love, and unforgettable memories. 18 years ago, a little girl entered this world and brought endless joy to her family. Through the years, she has grown with kindness in her heart, dreams in her eyes, and strength in her spirit. And tonight, surrounded by the people who love her most, we witness the beginning of a new chapter in her life. Before we welcome our debutante, let us first acknowledge the people who have guided her every step of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the most important people in her life, the ones who stood by her through every milestone, every lesson, and every dream. Please give a warm round of applause for Mommy, Papi, and her brother Otto. We celebrate the little girl who once reached for guiding hands, and the young woman who now stands tall, ready to reach for her dreams. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome, and please rise and welcome our debutante, Crashly May Untalan. Without further ado,
Is there like an English version of this song? Vediamo. Love and English. Wave to Earth. Vediamo. Aspetta, bro.
Starlight, shining starlight, why do you seem so bright? Come with me,
Hold my hand. Stay the night. Just you and I. Okay, okay. Oh, I make you understand my heart now. Need to show you the What you
eyes and see you are the only
want for me? Your eyes, your smile, your light brown eyes. ¿Qué Karins? Oh.
me in a day's dream filled by fantasy. When will you come back to me?
Impariamola. Vabbè, yeah. Yeah. Vediamo qua. Allora, io direi qualcosa che dice.
And tonight, surrounded by the people who love her most,
And tonight surrounded by the people who love her most. And tonight.
dopo ancora il cibo. Celebrate the beautiful young lady who has filled the life ago a little girl entered family. The moment of a young girl steps graceful life, the young lady in her heart, dreams in her eyes, surrounded by the people heart, dreams in her eyes, and strength in her spirit. And tonight, surrounded by the people spirit. And tonight, surrounded by the people who love her most,
Io direi facciamo così, simple solution, facciamo così. Easy. Poi bombo.
surrounded by the people who love her most, surrounded by the people who love her most,
Shut up a second.
surrounded by the and tonight surrounded by the people who love her most, surrounded by the people who love her most, witness
What the fuck?
surrounded by the people who love her most, tonight surrounded by
Ew.
and tonight surrounded by the people who love her most,
Perfect.
and tonight surrounded by the people who love her most,
Boom. What the fuck?
surrounded by the people who love her most,
The fuck, man?
And tonight, surrounded by the people who love her most, we witness the beginning of a new chapter. And tonight, surrounded by the people who love her most,
Oh my god. I don't wanna do this anymore.
tonight, surrounded by the people who love her most, we witness the beginning of a new chapter in her life. Before we welcome our debutante, let us first acknowledge the people who have guided her every step of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the most
And surrounded by the people who love her most.
And tonight, surrounded by the people who love her most, we witness the beginning of a new chapter in her life. Before we welcome our debutante, let us first acknowledge the people who have guided her every step of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the most important people in her life, the ones who stood by her through every milestone, every lesson, and every dream. Please give a warm round of applause for Mommy, Papi, and her brother Otoy.
Oh, toy.
Otoy.
Wait.
Otoy.
Wait.
Otoy. Otoy. We celebrate the little girl who once reached for guiding hands and the young woman who now stands tall, ready to reach for her dreams. So ladies and gentlemen, without
Tough shot. Tough shot. Per favore. Don't fuck this up, man. Così, easy. Ai gaghi. Così, boom. Boom.
So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome and please rise and welcome our debutante.
What the fuck, man? Get the fuck out of here. It was a good shot, man. Doing something. Doing something mysterious again. Va belli. Easy.
Let's welcome and please welcome our debutant. And without further ado, let us welcome and please rise and welcome our debutant.
Chill, poi sistemo tutto, sistemo tutto, sistema tutto.
Without further ado, let us welcome and please rise and welcome our debutant.
Man.
Rise and welcome our debutant.
Sono stanco.
And without further ado, let us welcome and please rise and welcome our debutant.
This was fun though, to record, you know. No. Maybe this, I don't know. What am I doing, man? Maybe questa qui.
No, ma non sono i
Lascia c'è UBCS a Jezreel. Faccio così, questo. Boom. Sto qua, tac, tac. Chill, boy. Tac, faccio così. Easy. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
Reach for her dreams. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome and please without further ado, let us welcome and please rise and welcome our debutant, Crashly May Untalan. Crashly May Untalan. Crashly May Untalan.
Nah, bro. Bro, ma perché? Why does my optical flow still chopped in Premiere? Fix. Okay. Get out of here. Ok, vediamo.
Crashly May Untalan. May Untalan.
Perché? Yo. 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 Mi si è scaricata la cam. As you can see, my cam is frozen, bro. No. Whatever. I'm charging it right now. I guess I can remove. Wait. Remove this. Now. Yeah, bro. I'm looking for because complex motion. Optical flow works best on simple linear movement, erratic movement, transparency, fast moving subject. Bro, there's nothing. Render issues. Sequence renders. Yeah, bro. Yeah, whatever.
Crashly May Untalan.
Because I want this effect to be like 50%. Boom.
May Untalan. Crashly, May, Untalan.
But the entrance, man. Why is it low-key chopped, man?
Crashly, May, Untalan. Crashly, May, Untalan. May, Untalan.
So pretty. Okay, bro, what is Joshua doing, man?
사람 사이 사람 바람 사이 바람 각자의 영혼이 바래고 덧칠 되어 발이 닿을 만큼 굳어
You know what, basta. Io lo continuo domani mattina.
Let us welcome, and please rise and welcome our debutant. Crashly, May, Untalan.
Man. Ho fatto 3 minuti di video in 4 ore di live. What the fuck, man? Sono solo 15 minuti del video.
Ho fatto 3, 4, 5 minuti. 5 minuti. 5 minuti di cotillion, bro. Nah, bro, I'm out. Basta. È vero, non ho la cam. Vabbè, ciao a tutti. Ci vediamo tra qualche ora. Ciao.